First, I got to apologize. It is a weekend. Everybody's mowing their grass. Well, what are you going to do? Okay, what we're doing this time is my first ever, what I do not consider a budget tent. I consider this an over budget tent. Anything I got to pay more than 150 bucks for is not budget. This is the Haven Hammock Tent. But as you'll see, and by the weight of this, by the way, it's over 7 pounds. I don't think it's either a hammock or a tent, but rather a combination of the two, because it hangs like a hammock, but sleeps flat like a tent, and also can be set up on the ground as a tent, which I'm not going to do today, by the way, because I intend to use this more of the hammock tent version. Now, as I show you the components of this, I must confess that I've already had it up, and I don't pack it back in as neatly as the factory does. So it's all in there, but it's not neat. So let's show you what's in it. Okay, this is how it comes packaged, with your main body of the tent and the rain fly, your hanging straps, your tree straps, all in here, and the sleeping pad attaches to the outside, and you just unhook these two guys and everything comes out. That is the sleeping pad itself. It's a 30 by 80 by 4 inch. It actually measures 3.5, and it's an insulated pad. They say it's insulated to 4, but that's an estimate. So let's get into the main sack here. All right. Now, inside there, I have the gear bag. Everything other than the main body is in there. And this is my very messy roll-up of the main body. So there you go. That's the main body of the tent. Now, I'll show you what's in this little bag. All right, first of all, you got your two tree straps, and they're 7-foot tree straps. Those come in there. Then you have your 2 aluminum spreader bars that just go together like that. Those guys. Then you have the rain fly itself, and I have already attached the guy lines. That's my messy packing. It's just stuffed in. So, and of course, it has 2 steel carabiners. I did not use those on the main body of the tent, because these are like 4 ounces by themselves. Yeah, they're very heavy duty, but they're very heavy. 4 aluminum hook stakes. I don't prefer these because there is a tendency when you have it driven into the ground at your 45-degree angle with your guy line hooked to it, is a tendency for it to flip up the other way and the guy line to slip off. And I don't prefer these, but they're very nice long aluminum stakes. And there's 4 of them. It does come with 2 small carabiners if you want to attach the fly and keep it separate from the main body, which is the way I like to do it, but I did not use these 2 carabiners because they're very lightweight and I don't trust them. So now on these tree straps, they're very nice. They're the daisy chain type tree straps. They're 7 feet long. If you have large trees like we do around here, like I have here in my backyard, I don't have a tree, but I have a very large tree stump. Is 5 feet in circumference, and you wind up with this. So, to remedy that, I recommend, and I am not an affiliate in any way for Haven Tent, but I recommend you invest in the whoopee slings when you purchase this, because it comes with 2 lightweight aluminum carabiners that are rated heavy, 400 pounds each. And these will give you the extension you need for large trees and large distances between trees to set this up. If anybody has ever set up a hammock, you got this. So I'm going to set it up and I'm going to give you my personal thoughts on it, and we'll go from there. And any little additional things that I may have added to it. So let's go. Yeah, as you can see here, my working end of my tree strap is very short. So you take a whoopee sling and you attach it through the loop. Pull it through, and you have 6 feet of additional length. And with the tree strap hooked on one end, and whoopee sling on the other, just to tighten the hammock, all I got to do is pull the whoopee sling and get it where I want it. That's all there is to it. And these spreader bars just go in each end, and a little pocket that's made for them, like that. That's all there is to that. And that goes on both ends like that. Now to inflate my sleeping pad after I get it out of the bag, I just throw it over top of my tent or hammock. Keeps it off the ground, doesn't get dirty. Also with the Haven sleeping pad, which is required for this tent, it's also a pump sack. It pulls out lengthwise, and it has an attachment for a pump sack, but I'm not going to use that. I'm using a little gadget I showed the other day in a video, and we'll let that We'll let it do the work. And we'll let that go for a few minutes. Okay. After 2 minutes, this is inflated, ready to go. So you just put it inside the tent. There's little pockets on each end that the pad hooks into to keep it in place. It won't move around once it's in those pockets. Okay, one of my little additions to the Rainfly is instead of using the little carabiners that come with it, I got these little booms, aluminum gate hooks, gate carabiners, and you just, so I can remove it, take it on and off. If the Rainfly is wet, I can remove it, store it separately from the rest of the unit. And these little buggers are nice because they'll just hook right onto the main unit carabiner on both ends. And the Rainfly is basically on except for staking it out. One of the other little additions I did to the four corners, and as you can see, all my lines are already attached to the tarp, so I just have to unroll them and stake them out. And the line tensioners make that a breeze. Okay, the Rainfly is all guyed out, and shade mode, I guess, or porch mode. It's not very big. It's only about 3 feet. It does give you some shade if the sun's on the right side. But this is a little different. But I got an idea. Let's see if it works. Okay, if you want another 3 feet of porch, all I did was put my Snug Pack Stasha, which is a 64 by 96 inch lightweight tarp, up on top. Hooked it to the 2 poles out here. You get another 3 feet of porch area. It worked out pretty slick, I must say. So I'll show you how it's hooked on the top. The tarp is just hooked with a bungee cord over to the main carabiner. Hooked on both sides, just like that. And on the outside end, another bungee cord just slipped over the top of the pole. And the tarp is sloping back far enough that if it were to rain, not a storm, mind you, but if it was to rain, this would work out pretty well. But if you did have to go into storm mode, you'd have to take all this down to batten down the hatches with the Rainfly. Anyway, it works. Yeah, this tent has storage galore. Really big pocket at the top. A smaller pocket here, and a little like cell phone pocket on this side, or water bottle. You wouldn't get much of a water bottle in there. And it's got the same thing on both ends. And there is a ridge line in the top if you want to hang anything. So that's a plus too. Now storm mode, basically what you see here, it looks loose, but it's hooked down on the corners. Right here, there is a toggle on the corner that goes through the tarp that holds it against the body of the tent. There's one of those on each corner, on all four corners, and then there's a little snap here in the middle and a piece of bungee cord that hooks onto that. And the reason it's loose like that is when you get in it, all of that tightens up. So that's storm mode, and it does have, and I think everybody else has shown this too, right here, there's a vent on both ends to help with condensation when it's in this mode. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm going to spend the night in it tonight. And sure, I'm going to be stretching some lines out. That's a little disappointing. I've never had that happen before. Not on these setup between my deck and that big tree stump. But it is what it is. The lines have to be stretched, or I have to get different tree straps. So until morning, I'll see you then. Okay, well, I've been up for about 15 minutes. Long enough for priorities, which is coffee. It was a good night. It was a very good night. If I can get my coffee to set up here on the ground. And as promised, the pros and cons of the Haven Hammock Tent sleeping system. Well, let's start off with the cons. Kind of get those out of the way. As mentioned yesterday, while I was getting all this set up, the tree straps are a bit stretchy. Finally got that worked out that they weren't stretching anymore. But it took a while. I had to sit in it, I had to lay in it, tighten up again, and lay in it some more, tighten it up a little bit more. But it finally stopped. So we got a good lay there. But the tree straps are a little bit on the stretchy side. Okay, no dual zippers. It's only got the one continuous zipper that runs around the one side and the other one that runs around the other side. That's it. Don't care for that, but it does work. Better line locks. The line locks that come with it, the little three-hole line locks, I don't like those. I don't think many people do. I think they take them off their lines when they get them and they throw them away. That's what I did with mine. I got better line locks on the corners now. Work out just great. Okay, this is a heavy system. This is a heavy system. This is, what is to say to this isn't a backpacker's system. Coming in at 7 pounds with everything, and you can't use it really without the pad unless it's on the ground. It is, however, a camper's system, and that's what I'm going to use it for. Camping. I'm not going to carry this on a backpacking trip. Of course, I can't remember the last backpacking trip I was on. Yeah. Yep. You'd have to be a pretty hardy hiker to hike around 7 pounds of shelter with you. Anyway, that's the cons. It's the only things that I can find that could be improved on this system. Now for the pros. Ease of setup. This thing went up in a snap. And I'm sure it's going to come down the same way as soon as I get my guy lines out of the ground. Okay, the lay flat. Wonderful. The lay flat is great. Yeah, great design. Easy in and easy out. Easiest hammock to get into and get out of, except for the zipper, that I have had. Can't even get my voice right this morning. Yeah, it's only 6:30. Sun hasn't even come over the fence yet. Just about. And last but certainly not least, last night sleeping in this hammock was the best sleep I have ever had in a hammock or a tent. This thing it's just sweet. It's just sweet. And if they could straighten out those small little items that I had mentioned, it'd be perfect. But there's always room for improvement, as there is with me. But anyway, that's my list that I was jotting down all evening last night, putting this up. And that's it. So that's the Haven XL Hammock Tent. You can use it as a hammock, and you can use it as a tent on the ground. But I like it this way. So until next time, my friends, this is Max with Hike Camp. Bye for now.